Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. I am going to do a recipe roundup for you today. I was actually putting together some Instagram stories of the different recipes that I have done using Perfect Keto products because it's Perfect Keto week around here because they're having their biggest sale of the year, like I mentioned yesterday on my Costco grocery haul video. And so I just thought that on Instagram, I would kind of put in some links and things for different recipes that I've done using Perfect Keto products. And I was like, you know what? This would be kind of a fun video to put together. And I had more thoughts that I could really share in the Instagram stories. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Perfect Keto is having their biggest sale of the year, their Black Friday sale going on now. It's one of those where you get more of a discount the more items that you purchase, and you can get all the way up to 50% off if you purchase 6 items or more. And then also, if you get to the threshold of $145, which is pretty easy to do with Perfect Keto products, they will throw in a free gift, and they have kind of a rotating list of free gifts depending on the day. And Two Crazy Ketos had a brilliant idea on their video that they just put out about the Perfect Keto sale. And they said, if you're going to be purchasing a lot, like really stocking up, break your orders up because there's free shipping. That's the other thing about this sale is even if you only purchase one item, you get free shipping. So if you want to like maximize the free gifts, get your $145 worth of product in your cart, go through the checkout process, get your free gift. You can choose like from one of 2 items and it rotates, like I said. So today it's still the chocolate collagen, which I think is the best deal of the free gifts, or a box of the chocolate mallow munch bars, which are also delicious, but they're a lot cheaper than the chocolate collagen. That's why I chose the chocolate collagen. Tomorrow, the free gift is going to change. And for 2 days, it'll be either chocolate cereal or something else, and I can't remember. Maybe I'll put it up on the screen so you can see the 2 options there. So that's the next 2 days. And then the 2 days after that, it'll be either the pancake mix or the brownie mix. I have not tried either of those, so I can't tell you for sure if they're good or not, but it's a good way to try it if it's comes as a free gift with your order. So anyways, if you make an order of $145 or more, get your free gift, then maybe wait till tomorrow when the free gifts are different. If you want to try something else like the chocolate cereal, which would be a great choice, you could place another order. And as long as you get to that $145 mark again, then you get the other free gift. Obviously, this is only if you have the money to stock up. And if you do, great. If not, totally understand. So enough about that. I will have all the details and the link and all that down in the description below. You just click the link. You don't have to use a coupon code. And depending on how many items you put in your cart, you will get the corresponding discount. Okay, now on to the recipes. I have my list down here, but I think all of these I have a video on. So I will also be putting, I can't put all of the videos in the cards because you're only allowed to do 5 cards in a YouTube video, but I will put all of the links down in the description for all of these different recipe videos. Let's start off with the caramel sticky buns. These turned out phenomenal. And so it's an egg white bread based recipe using the ice cream scoop method to make like pull-apart rolls. And I used the Perfect Keto salted caramel MCT oil powder in it. And there's something magical that happens with the egg white bread batter when you put a fat powder in it. It causes the batter to deflate a little bit, which you would think first that that's bad, but it actually turns out to be good because it makes the bubbles in the bread a lot bigger and you don't get the memory foam type texture without the added fat. So the Perfect Keto MCT oil powder works incredibly well as a powdered fat to put in your egg white bread. And I will mention also that the collagen powder works as well. And I think one of the main reasons is their keto collagen powder actually has MCT oil powder in it. I don't think that just a plain pure collagen would have the same effect as the fat powder. Adding collagen might give an effect to the bread, but it's not going to do the same like deflating and giving you the bigger bubbles in the batter, that the fat powder would. But Perfect Keto's keto collagen is not pure collagen. It also has some MCT oil powder in it. So I expect that you could get a similar effect adding the keto collagen. I had a lot of people ask me about that because, they already had the keto collagen and didn't want to necessarily order the MCT oil powder if the keto collagen would work the same. I would recommend trying it just the same measurement that I do for the MCT oil powder in the recipe. And if that's not enough to get the texture that you want, you might just increase the amount that you put in there. I also want to mention the donuts that I made at my birthday last year in April. So I did a collaboration with Janet Greta, one of my dear, dear friends here on YouTube, and I used her donut recipe. And I made a little bit of a tweak to it when I did it, and I have the video so you can go see, how I made it with all the ingredients. I think that if I were to do donuts again, I might use the sticky caramel bun recipe that I was just talking about and make it into the donut shapes. I think that would be really good, and you could use the Perfect Keto MCT or collagen powder in that. That would be delicious. But what I did back in April with the donuts that I made is I made a mock voodoo donut or a keto voodoo donut using the Perfect Keto cereal. I'm from Oregon, not in Portland anymore, but I lived a lot of my life in Portland. And one thing here that is super popular is voodoo donuts. And fun fact about me, I have never actually eaten a voodoo donut. It's one of those things that you do as a tourist when you come to Portland. You have to get a voodoo donut, and I've never been a tourist in Portland, so I just never have done it. But one of their most popular things is that they have cereal donuts, like Captain Crunch donuts and, I don't know, Fruity Pebbles and stuff like that, where it has cereal on top. Delicious, right? So what I did was I took some of the Perfect Keto cereal, the chocolate, which is my favorite, tastes like Oreo O's, or at least similar, and put those on the donuts, and they were super cute, and it added this incredible crunch. You can kind of use whatever base recipe you want for the donuts, but then you could make it like a mock voodoo donut with the cereal on top. The next thing that I like to use Perfect Keto products for is my hot cocoa mix. I did a video about a year ago now, right around this time, for my hot cocoa mix, and it was dairy-free at the time, although I do have an option to make it not dairy-free using heavy cream powder instead of coconut milk powder. But I found that the MCT oil powders or the collagen powders were a great way to add the sweetness and to add extra flavor to the hot chocolate. So if you wanted a salted caramel hot chocolate, you could add it, and it only took for me just like maybe a tablespoon of the MCT oil powder in my hot cocoa. So what I did, in the video, I gave some options where you can put the sweetener into the mix, but I knew that I wanted to use the MCT oil powder or the collagen powder from Perfect Keto, and that already has plenty of sweetness in it. So I made my mix completely sweetener free. And so I can scoop that into my cup, put in the hot water, and then I can add like a tablespoon of, the cinnamon toast if I want like a Mexican hot chocolate, or the salted caramel if I want a salted caramel hot chocolate. Let's see what else. You could add the chocolate MCT oil powder, but to make it extra chocolatey, I guess. You could do the vanilla to enhance the vanilla flavor. You could do the peanut butter MCT or collagen powder, and you could do a peanut butter hot chocolate. That sounds really good. Okay, moving on. The next recipe that I love using Perfect Keto products for is egg yolk waffles. So there's an egg yolk waffle recipe that I think originated with Carnivore Yogi a few years ago. And then Carnivore's Angel Amy, she made it popular again. And it's a great way to use up egg yolks if you're making egg white bread with lots of fresh egg whites. It's also a great way to up your fat in your diet if you're trying to hit certain macros, because it's basically, butter and egg yolks, very high in fat. And the original recipe is wonderful, and it makes a great plain waffle. And it's especially great for like savory things, like if you want to use it for a breakfast sandwich or something. But what I found was if I put a scoop of the Perfect Keto MCT oil powder or the collagen powder, it added the perfect amount of sweetness, and it added the flavor, obviously, and it it made the texture better. It made it a little bit more dense. The original recipe is very airy and light, but it gave it a little bit more of like that breadiness, a little bit more of the chew, and it just made them phenomenal. My favorite flavors to put in the egg yolk waffles are the cinnamon toast. That just adds that little cinnamon kick. If you want like just a very plain one that you're going to put butter and maple syrup on, then just using a vanilla would be delicious. I also really, really liked the strawberry MCT oil powder for those. They just gave that little bit of a fruity sweetness. They're really, really good. I didn't care so much for the chocolate because it wasn't enough chocolate flavor to make a really chocolatey waffle. I think you'd have to add more cocoa powder or something to really make it a chocolatey waffle. But the cinnamon toast, the strawberry, and the vanilla, those ones were my favorite. I did the salted caramel as well, and I didn't think the flavor came through as much. So it worked to give a sweetness to the waffles, but I didn't really get a salted caramel waffle. Maybe if I was gonna like drizzle it with like a allulose caramel sauce, whipped cream allulose caramel sauce, then I'd use the salted caramel in there just to, add to the caramel flavor. All right, just recently, you guys probably already saw the keto candies that Levi and I made in our video from earlier this month. We did the pecan pie truffles, where we took the maple pecan Nola bars from Perfect Keto, cut them up and like rolled the pieces into balls. Then we dipped them into chocolate, and then I put a little sprinkle of smoked salt on top. Those were so good. Levi was eating them like every day. He loved them. But actually he liked the second candy that we made even more than those. And that was the Mallow Munch bars. We took the chocolate ones, but it would work with any of the flavors. And we cut them up into little squares, little cubes, dipped those in chocolate, and then sprinkled them with some colorful sprinkles because colorful sprinkles make everything better. And he loved those. So that's another idea, but you could even take it further by using any of the flavors of the Nola bars. I was thinking the peanut butter Nola bars would make a great chewy peanut butter truffle. It would be like, is a Baby Ruth one that's coated in chocolate? I don't think Payday is. But it'd be like a Payday coated in chocolate, which I think is like a Baby Ruth without the nougat. Anyways, it would be like a chewy peanut butter truffle coated in chocolate. I mean, it sounds amazing. You could do the coconut chocolate chip ones coated in chocolate, and you could coat them in, any keto chocolate chips that you like. And there's white chocolate ones, there's milk chocolate ones, there's all different kinds. So you could kind of go crazy with the different flavors. And then the last one was white chocolate macadamia nut. As far as the Nola bar flavors, you could totally, dip that in chocolate too, or in white chocolate. I mean, that would be amazing. Same thing with the Mallow Munch bars. You could use the peanut butter flavor coated in chocolate, maybe sprinkle some crushed peanuts on top. You could do, what I really would like to do is either the plain or the chocolate Mallow Munch bars cut into cubes, dipped in white chocolate, sprinkled with peppermint. I'm thinking the chocolate Mallow Munch bars, white chocolate wrapped around, sprinkled with some kind of a keto peppermint candy. Does that exist? Because it really should exist. But somehow getting the peppermint flavor in there, I think that would be so good. Okay, my only savory recipe using Perfect Keto products is my strawberry poppy seed salad dressing. I made this over the summer and it was delicious. So good. I love on keto that there are a lot of good, fatty, low-carb salad dressings that we can enjoy, like blue cheese, ranch, those are good. They're delicious. But sometimes, especially in the summer, I really want that sweet, fruity, tangy dressing on my salad, like something super fresh, not heavy. And this strawberry poppy seed dressing was perfect for that. It's so flavorful and sweet. And then you got the color, the beautiful pink color from the strawberry MCT oil powder. It just was delicious. highly, highly recommend that recipe. Now, last but not least, I have to talk about cheesecake because hands down, like one of the most phenomenal ways you can use the Perfect Keto MCT oil powder or collagen powder and the cereal is by making cheesecake out of them. I had so much fun running that special with them back in the summer where I developed 3 different flavors of cheesecake. Like I ate cheesecake for a month straight. It was amazing. And I will throw in here that I did not gain a pound doing that. Like when in history could anyone spend a month testing cheesecake recipes and eating cheesecake and not gain weight? And I think it's because it was keto. So the 3 flavors of cheesecake that I did back in August, there was the strawberry cheesecake that used the strawberry MCT oil powder, as well as crushed up honey nut cereal for the crust. Oh my gosh, that combination was so good. I also used freeze-dried strawberries on top as the topping and in the filling to give that extra like bit of color and like flavor punch. It was so good. Okay, next one was the matcha cheesecake. They have a matcha MCT, or it's matcha latte MCT oil powder, and it is delicious. It worked incredibly well in the cheesecake, and so I used the matcha latte powder in the cheesecake filling. I also used it as a dusting on the top. It just made this really beautiful topping. And then for the crust, I used the cinnamon cereal all crushed up, and the flavor of the cinnamon, and I put a little bit of ginger in the filling with the matcha. Oh my gosh, it was so good. If you are a matcha fan, I highly, highly recommend it. This cheesecake was my husband's favorite that I made. He loved it. Okay, this next one is the cookies and cream cheesecake. I used the vanilla flavored keto collagen in the filling of this one, but I will mention that in any of these cheesecake recipes, you can either use the collagen or the MCT oil powder. Either one will work. So I used the vanilla collagen, and then I used the chocolate cereal for both the crust and mixed into the batter to make it cookies and cream, and to sprinkle on the top for the topping. I mean, it turned out so good. If you like cookies and cream, definitely go that direction. So those 3 flavors are the ones that I have the written recipes of. And, but I wanted to give you guys some ideas of other flavor combinations that you could do with the Perfect Keto products to make like so many different flavors of cheesecake. It was really, really difficult to narrow down my flavors to 3 to do for the promotion that we did. I had so many other ideas, and I still want to make all of these flavors, and eventually probably I will. But first off, since I was just talking about cookies and cream, you could use the chocolate collagen or chocolate MCT oil powder in the filling of the cheesecake, and then you would have a double chocolate cookies and cream cheesecake, which would be amazing. Then here are some more ideas. Okay, so if you love cinnamon, you could do a cinnamon spice cheesecake using the cinnamon toast MCT oil powder. And then you could add some, if you want it to be like pure cinnamon, you could just add some extra cinnamon. If you want it to be like a cinnamon spice cheesecake, you could add in some ginger, some cardamom, you know, all of those delicious, like nutmeg, all of those delicious like spices that go well with cinnamon, like anything chai spice would be great. And then I would definitely do the cinnamon crust with the cinnamon cereal on that. Very similarly, you could do either a pumpkin spice cheesecake or a pumpkin cheesecake. Obviously the difference would be the pumpkin cheesecake would actually have pumpkin in it. The pumpkin spice would just have the pumpkin spice in it. So that would be very similar to the cinnamon spice cheesecake, I suppose. But you could add in like, maybe, because it's a small cheesecake, the recipe that I have. So I would add maybe like 1/4 of a cup, 1/3 of a cup, maybe up to 1/2 of a cup of pumpkin puree into the batter, and it would turn out great. Next idea, which would be amazing, is a peanut butter cheesecake. You could use the peanut butter MCT oil powder or the peanut butter collagen. And then you could either do, if you just want pure peanut butter, you could do some kind of a peanut butter drizzle on top and do like maybe the honey nut crust. But you could also do a chocolate peanut butter with the peanut butter in the filling, peanut butter MCT oil powder in the filling, do a chocolate drizzle on top, and maybe use the chocolate cookie crumbs for the crust. Either of those options would be delicious. Next idea is salted caramel. Use the salted caramel MCT oil powder or collagen powder in the filling. Then as far as a crust, I'd probably go ahead and do either the honey nut or the chocolate. Cinnamon might be okay. I'm not sure, depending on what you're going for. But if you just wanted a pure salted caramel cheesecake, I'd probably do the honey nut and then do some kind of an allulose caramel drizzle and then maybe even sprinkle with flaked salt or something. Another interesting idea that I have for a cheesecake is a chocolate covered strawberry cheesecake. So doing the filling like I did with my strawberry cheesecake, but then having the chocolate crust and then having some kind of a chocolate drizzle on top. Like that. If you're one that likes the fruity plus chocolate stuff, then that would probably be for you. I'm always torn about that because I like fruity plus chocolate. Like I don't dislike it, but if I'm going for a dessert, I typically will just go all the way chocolate and it's like, I don't need the fruit. But some people really like that combination of the fruit and the chocolate. And so that might be one for you. And the last idea is the simplest, but it comes in handy. You could just do a plain vanilla cheesecake. And depending on what you're planning to top it with, if you are planning a topping, you can choose whatever crust, the chocolate, cinnamon, or honey nut. Honey nut would be the most plain, kind of like a graham cracker crust. And then it's like a blank slate for whatever, you want to add as far as toppings. It would be really fun to do like a cheesecake bar as a dessert at an event where you have plain cheesecake, or maybe you could have a plain and a chocolate, and then you have all kinds of different toppings, whipped cream and different sauces and stuff. That would be really good. So I hope this gave you some ideas. I know this video is incredibly long and I applaud you for getting all the way through it. The sale is going on through this week. So take advantage of it. Take advantage of it as often as you want if you want to place multiple orders and continue to get those free gifts. I hope you guys all have a really wonderful week as you prepare for Thanksgiving, if you are in the US and if you celebrate. Otherwise, I hope you guys all just have a great week, and I will see you again in another video.